Welcome back to Dark Nexus. Tonight, it's Act 3, Chapter 104. We're picking up in Celophaeus, in the ballroom of Viscount Pietro Brelin's estate, at the party of the day. What day is it? Who can say? For time here is frozen at sunset. Dora, her bodyguard Grip, Baron Zolotov, and Druidwick are in line. An excruciatingly slow-moving line, wending its way through hundreds upon hundreds of people, crawling towards the southern platform and a potential audience with the Viscount. I described the Count last week, but again, briefly. Handsome, human, blonde, impeccably dressed in green, and of course, splattered with gobs of the thick black tar he keeps hacking out of his lungs onto an endless parade of soiled handkerchiefs. Y'all ready for some art?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, with the white collar, too, is really...
I know.
That's pretty spectacular.
Oh, and these piercing green eyes matching his green outfit, and then just gobs of crap crusted all over his beautiful spray of lace cascading from his collar. So it's about a half-hour process from where we're currently picking up here. So you're going to be just kind of moving along slowly, watching other people go up, do their things. Tell me a little bit about what you all are doing to prep for what is about to happen during this time period where you have some time to talk about it and think about it.
Dabwick's curious if anyone's providing gifts, offering gifts to the Viscount as in gratitude for inviting us, or...
No, but Dabwick does notice that every single person that goes up does seem to incorporate into the very first thing that they do a bow. I'm going to use air quotes. A bow. Something that is completely unfamiliar to Dabwick as a bow from your planet. But something that's clearly equivalent.
Everyone doing the same thing or just their own version?
No, and as we watch over a few minutes of this, paying careful attention, it seems like there are things that seem to be compulsory about the weird, flamboyant physical expressions that are performed differently by every single person. But all of them each seem to have their own individual touches. And if anyone wants to maybe analyze this behavior with a knowledge local check, one certainly could.
Ooh.
And he can be aided. We're in what is going to be a skill challenge here. It's way less structured than what we did back in Chapter 72, in that some of this is going to roll over as you make observations and say things. But at this moment, if Johnny's going to try to identify how to present oneself properly with a knowledge local check, the other three of you can certainly aid that effort. Or if you decide that someone else is best to figure this piece out.
Before such things, I left 2 extract slots open.
Uh-huh.
And I know that it's this wild sort of party and stuff. Is it the sort of thing where me literally sitting there while we're standing in line pouring vials into vials and stuff, is that something that would be noted as very strange, or?
No, I think you can get away with that shit, Johnny.
Great. I'm
I think
asking,
you could. I think you could.
I was going to ask, but also, like, this is a dream for Vic, Baron Zolotov.
Oh, right.
So I think that he would be like, well, yeah, I'm going to just mix up a little something and kind of see what's what.
That's a good reminder for me that the consequences are different here for Vic than they are for the rest of you. Interesting. Okay.
Dora's going to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay. That's a lot of minds. What kind of... You're going to try to use that to help figure out how to present oneself?
Well...
Or is there something else you're looking for here? Let's drill down, because, I'm not even going to bother making some rolls to start here, because, of course, you would probably get 50 people at a go.
I mean, I want the Baron in it. Or the Baron. The Viscount.
Viscount.
Who said Baron? Why are we talking Barons?
Because Vic identified himself as...
Oh, right.
Baron Zolotov.
Baron Zolotov.
What is the word Baron?
Because
Did you,
he thought it was fun.
to anyone in particular?
Yes, Theophilus Eliab Forger of the Acreal Forgers.
You know.
While
the famed Acreal Forgers.
Well, of
Come
course.
on, Robert.
So at this moment, Grip has this thought in his head, and he starts to bend down to whisper to Dora, but then sees that she's
Focus.
She's got her focused look, and he knows not to bother her. He turns over to Vic, and like he sees Vic is doing his thing. He's like, "Fuck!" But the thought that's running through his head is this fucking viscount going to recognize us?
Yeah, that's a
And
good
should
question.
we have come up with an alias of who the fuck we are? But he doesn't say it to anyone because he doesn't want to interrupt anyone. But that's what he's standing there nervous about.
Sure, and you all have time for that.
He decides he's just going to follow someone's lead that's not him.
Okay. All right, let me make a couple of rolls for you here, Katie. What's the DC for you on that detect thoughts?
It is 17.
Okay.
My favorite number.
Oh, yeah. Which is probably indicative, perhaps, cosmically, why you do not penetrate Viscount Brelin's mental defenses. However, you do pick up a swath of the thoughts of a whole heap of inebriated partygoers around you. Anything you want to try to pull out of their heads?
Yeah, what we're doing, what needs to be done with the bowing and any kind of help I can afford. The
Okay.
local check.
Okay.
Are you ready for some knowledge checks now?
Let's leverage what Dora is pulling out of people's brains as a +2 aid on Johnny's roll here. So I think like what she's grabbing is if she hears somebody thinking, oh, what twist am I going to put on the left wrist this time? Sort of noting the things that people are thinking about, specifically adding that will be their own personal flourishes as probably information that you can use to filter over to Vic as like, this is what's essential, this is what's not essential. This seems to be allowed, this seems to not be allowed. What about Dabs and Grip? Anything you want to do to try to aid this out?
The insect spy had a duration of 10 minutes per level, so is it potentially?
I think we're skirting the edge, but you want to get one last little.
What do you got for me there, Dabs?
You know, it can't determine subtleties
I
in,
can't
in
determine
behavior.
subtleties.
Right.
What else can I do, though?
But can it do anything to pick up behavior to describe how if people perform differently? What if there's anything in common about them?
I see people bending.
That's right. Okay.
All these people look the same to me.
The only thing I can think of,
Yeah.
and this is weak tea, I think, but he's got some ranks in perception. If just by standing there and staring at everyone
Yeah.
it, if he can find a commonality.
I am comfortable with perception as an aid. That's something Dabo can do if they want
Yeah,
to, or if they're
yeah.
so frustrated about the situation. with
No.
the beetle.
This
Okay,
is good.
Okay.
This is good.
I was not made for a party.
It's a 23 on the perception check.
Excellent. So plus
Nice.
2 more,
It's a +4.
+4. And what's Dabs bringing to the table, eyeball wise?
That's 24.
Excellent. So +6 on this check there, and you're using knowledge local to parse the behavior on how to properly present oneself before Viscount Pietro Brelin.
So before doing this,
Yeah.
Vic pops. First he mixes and then drinks 2 extracts.
Okay, which ones? I'm guessing Tears to Wine.
Yep.
And let's see. I don't know the other one.
Fox is cunning.
Fox is Cunning. Sweet.
And then he uses his peepers looking at all these people that are bowing and scraping and bending and twisting and trying to...
And he's used to studying people in combat, but not so much in a social environment like this. This is fun.
Oh, man. That is a 40.
Oh, well, okay. That is definitely a success. So in this first chunk of time, as you're getting closer and closer to the person you're going to have to talk to in order to secure your audience, Vic learns that a bow at the waist with the left hand raised higher than the height of the back at its lowest point with a tilt of the head to the right is the bare minimum. Individual flourishes above that are expected, but the head cannot turn to the left and the right pinky cannot move. Other than that, you are allowed within those boundaries to express yourself how you will. And it does seem like once you kind of key in on these wildly extravagant series of bows with all sorts of flair and brouhaha. Like once you narrow in on like, oh, it's obviously this is what they're doing and this is how they add panache. This is how they add panache to it. Yes, embellishment. You can easily spread that through the group and everybody can work on their own private bow as you are moving forward. Anything else you wish to do from the crowd, from your eyeballs as you're nearing this 7-foot-tall, cadaverously thin, blue-skinned human wearing a sharp red and gray tuxedo? And he has 3 dudes in like pumpkin pantsy style orange livery, each holding a massive, like 3-foot thick leather bound tome that are huddling behind this very tall, very thin, very blue man who seems to be who you present yourself to ask for an audience.
So we're there, we're at him, we're up next.
That can be the next thing, unless there's anything else you want to do.
Anybody?
Sounds good.
All right. So finally, after a half hour of this part of the line, you make your way in front of this very...
Did my detect thoughts work on that guy?
Did not.
Or on any of the guards?
Sure.
Did the guards recognize us at all?
You don't... No, nobody seems to be recognizing you, and you're not picking up any stray, like, oh my god, they showed up here.
They were just here.
No, you seem to be the least interesting thing on their minds. Those guards, so these guards close to the platform, a couple of them are responsible for disposing and supplying handkerchiefs, and I think they would be in a constant state of panic about being able to keep up with it and keep up with it without slipping.
Fantastic.
Before we get to...
Are they having any thoughts about what it is that he does?
Or are they trained not to think about it?
It seems like it's such a part of their life that the fear of being punished for calling attention to it is the thing that they're worried about.
Got it.
That, like, so this, I think you take away from that, this is not new. It's not like, oh my god, as of yesterday, now this is our life. It just kind of seems like this is one of the dangers of the job. Yeah.
It's a living.
It is.
I hope I don't get handkerchief duty tomorrow.
Yes, exactly.
Before we get up to the blue gatekeeper, Grip will bend down to Dora and say, "What are we saying we are?"
We can say anything.
Okay. Keeping my mouth shut.
And you reach him. Hi, I am Ebenezer Anthony Addle, as you know, the Viscount's planner, social adjutant, and frivolity dog's body. Your names?
I'm Dora.
Dora.
You can call me Grip.
Dora, you can call me Grip.
Tulane.
Dora, you can call me Grip. Tulane. And as he repeats these names, he's kind of casting a glance over his shoulder, and his 3 minions with the books start opening the books, looking for these names in the book.
Baron Zolotov.
Baron Zolotov. And where are you from? I'm sorry, excuse me. He looks over his shoulder. There seems to be some confusion and consternation among the 3 pumpkin pantsy orange livery dudes with books. I'm sorry. One moment, please.
Dora is fingering the wand of command in her filthy sack.
Nice. Can I see your invitations, please?
I wasn't aware we needed to bring them.
Oh, God.
Is there a problem?
Are you dreamers?
Isn't everyone?
Fucking tourists. All right. So, I can't believe I have to say this out loud. You will present yourself. There is no need to ask the Viscount if he's enjoying himself. Of course he is. There is no need to comment on his outfit. He knows it is the cutting edge of fashion, impeccably tailored. There is no need to discuss the king's latest pronouncement or the results of the race. In fact, avoid all discussion of politics and competitions entirely in the Viscount's presence.
Understood.
What race?
The Zeppelin race. The one won by Perry Henry Anvil. No, not that one. The other one, the one that you don't know.
I love that an anvil won the Zeppelin race.
That is his surname. Dora of Nowhere.
Understood.
Very well then. Next! And they'll clear out of the way. The 2 guards at the bottom of the flight of stairs, you take up 1 flight of stairs, bend around a corner, another flight of stairs up to the top of this 20-foot tall platform. The 2 guards at the bottom take their golden glaives and their brass banded mail, step to the side with military efficiency, and you start walking up the stairs. And this is where you see everybody who's kind of clustered in this area, who all seem to be, oh, I'm just casually dancing close to the center of the action. Like, they're tracking everybody who walks up those stairs and how they do it. There's this brief moment of feeling like every single eye is on you. The further you go up this first flight of stairs, the more puddles of black tar you have to avoid. This is where you see the guard whose job it is to deliver handkerchiefs, who has this massive chest that's clearly filled with white handkerchiefs, who's standing there sweating, watching the guard. Like, he doesn't even look at you as you go by him. His eyeballs are just peeled on the Viscount. And then, probably at this point, as you turn the corner, he has to, like, brush past you, race over there, delicately drop a handkerchief into his hand, comes on back, and the floor of this last flight of stairs is just completely coated in black sludge. And as your feet step in it, it is sticky, and it makes just these most hideous and socially inappropriate squelching, farting sounds. So as you're walking up to present yourself before this guy, it's like sticky and farty, and the air starts to smell just a little organic in a way that's unpleasant. It smells like bodily fluid up there.
Is it at all a fungal smell?
No. And it is not in any way familiar to anything that you have smelled before. There's something almost maybe a little comfortingly natural and not supernatural about it, because it just merely smells like bile. Versus like
one of the bad humors.
Right, it smells like a bad humor.
Could I make an alchemy check as we're tromping through this?
If you want to stop to examine it.
No.
Thank you. And you reach the top of the stairs. He's sitting in the most regal, casual, draped posture across his throne. The legs are perfectly turned out. His wrists are perfectly turned and presented. He's got his head cocked to one side to expose his beautiful chin, and the grace of his movements is breathtaking. He seems a little superhuman in how elegant he is. And the contrast with like the old crusted black shit all over his clothes, crusted on the corners of his mouth, like splashed on his fingers, it is incredibly disturbing.
Are you about to ask for a will save? Yeah.
I'm about to ask your individual strategies for avoiding displaying any discomfort over the Viscount's condition. How are you going about it, Dora?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we've had all this time to look at it. I think she's forced herself to look at it until it's sort of normalized. Like, it's... She certainly doesn't know what it is, doesn't want it. And, but, you know, he seems fine.
Yeah.
He seems almost angelic.
Yes.
So I think she's just practicing radical acceptance of the situation.
I love it.
It's just what it is.
Yeah. What about Gripper?
I mean, I think we've seen so many horrid things.
Yes.
And I feel like...
This is
I
nothing.
I feel like he can look at something and not flinch. If it's not something that is supernaturally fucking with his sense of self, I think he can look at something that is just gross and stick it out. I don't know if that's constitution
We've
or
seen so much more gross things than this. You could think of any one of them and be less grossed out. You know, like
Is Vic having a difficult time with it?
I think that Vic is like, this is all a dream. So
that's
like,
cool, right?
Working
It's
the
all
madness to his
like
favor.
He's just like, this is all totally weird, and that's weird, and this is weird, and so we're just going with how cool and weird this is.
This is a weird way to
We
dream
are
inside
down
the dream.
a man, guys.
You totally are. And what about Dabs?
I think Dabwick is very wisely averting their eyes and considering the geometric proportion of the dais and the throne and anything else that they can focus their eyes on.
So you're looking away.
Not by turning the head, The head stays in the proportion where it's supposed to, but just not gazing upon the pools of black bile.
Okay. You have observed it does seem as though the people announce their names before they do this bow. What do you say?
I am Dora. And then when she bows,
Yes.
she does all the things she's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But with her foot, she traces the shape of an eye, all in one fluid motion. Like a an oval, but like starting at one corner and down, over, and then around and close.
Okay.
It's her flourish.
Well, he says, I am Grip of the Wasteland. Like his flair he will try to meld the basic moves, but with elements of like a Hakra. So to add a layer of intimidating display about his bow.
That's awesome. Vic.
You may know me as the Baron Zolotov, friend of YK, dreamer at large, and bower of iniquity. And then when he does his bow, he kind of does it, he does all the right things, and then he kind of hops forward like a bird, going, call.
Yeah, he's dreaming.
Yeah.
Dabwick.
Dabwick says, a little too loud,
Yeah.
I am Tulane of the Wildwood Lodge, and bows very formally and somewhat stiffly, but is able to make the fluid motion work.
Yeah.
And then remembers that they need to add a little flourish, and so with their hand behind their back makes spidery motions with their fingers behind their back.
Okay. This name Tulane, are you modeling yourself after a specific druid that you once knew, or is this a character Dabs is inventing as they go?
This is a character Dabs is inventing as they go.
Okay. As this all finishes, he does not move or really register much response until the completion of Tulane's bow, at which point his face lights up with the most radiant smile you can imagine on one of the most handsome men you have ever in your life or may ever see. Oh, my dear friends, do tell me, have we... And then that goes on for like a minute. You know the routine.
So we're just like hanging,
yes.
waiting
Yep.
to...
Let it happen.
Fills the handkerchief up, splats on the side, that's replenished. Do tell me, have we met before?
Such a simple question and such a complicated answer.
Explain, please.
It's possible we have met before. But here, in this place, memory is such an ephemeral thing.
And so is time, I find.
Yes.
It is always now. So, of course we have met before, because we have met now.
Well, technically, there was yesterday, and there will be tomorrow.
Then it is possible that we have met before.
Oh, tell me, my dear friends, under what circumstances do you believe we have met?
Certain aspects of ourselves came here before, accompanied by a man named Lols,
Certain aspects. Are you dreamers?
of course.
Oh. Johnny's posing. Is that what Vic is doing?
Absolutely.
Are you still going caw, caw?
Call.
Can't you tell?
You know, some locals don't care much for your kind, but I find it lovely that you come here and bask in our presence. It is you, after all, that are doing this to us. He gestures his hands towards the western windows and seems to indicate everything.
Towards the western windows or up?
Towards the western windows, like outside. The frozen sunset seems to be the implication.
You imply some offense for which I am most regretful.
Oh, no, you see, the legend has it that time stands still here when the city is viewed by mortal dreamers. So we get slight moments here and there, you know, when you all filter away and go to wherever it is you come from. And then time moves forward ever so slowly.
Are there many dreamers here besides us, do you know?
Oh my, yes. The city is lousy with them.
The city outside of these walls?
Oh yes, it's quite a lovely place to visit, is it not?
We haven't had the pleasure.
Oh,
We arrived here.
You came here specifically.
Yes, indeed.
How did you know to come here?
Much research.
You have not spoken much, Mr. Wastelands.
That is not my primary function.
Oh, what's your primary function?
He looks at his presents.
Vorpal scimitar.
I am the lady's protection.
My hat that I do not wear is off to you, sir. And
He gives a little head nod.
What have you, Lodge person?
I am here at the assist the lady as well.
Friend, my dear friend, it's all right. We are friends here. Friends speak openly and without stammering to one another.
You are ever so kind. Thank you.
Well, I do invite you, my dear friends, to enjoy the party and the festivities. Everything's free. You do not have to come up with money. Do they have money where you're from?
Yes, they do. Go.
Everything here is free?
It is for you. It wasn't for me. He gives a little wicked shimmy.
How did you pay for it?
I'm quite wealthy,
Oh my.
Mr. Iniquity.
And all of that lovely jewelry that you have,
Yes.
where did it come from? And I'm looking at his hands, which are adorned with.
Do any of them look like signet rings?
He's not wearing a signet ring. These are all family belongings. They go back generations.
I say, it appears that you're missing a ring.
Oh, am I? He looks down at his hands.
A signet ring, perhaps?
Where is my signet ring? Oh, yes. I gave it to that fellow.
Laws?
Yes, at noon.
Yes, at noon.
Oh, well, I'll have my valet fetch another one for me. Thank you for your observation.
Would you do us the utmost kindness as a friend?
Dear friend.
A dear friend. Would you get one for us too?
And what would you do with it?
As a memento of this amazing place.
And you, of course.
A token of our friendship.
Are you implying I have not given you enough?
No. But you know us dreamers. All dreamers want more. All dreamers dream of things that cannot be, should not be, will not be, but they still want it.
All right. The person who doesn't even believe he's here is currently taking lead on the next part of this skill challenge, which is making this ask in a way that doesn't offend him. What skill you think you're leading with here, buddy?
I think I'm leading with diplomacy.
Okay,
Either
I buy that.
diplomacy or maybe a concept of, this is probably a reach, but like a concept of planes of like how dreams and the dreamland in this world is different from our world, of how the thing that he said about how we are powering time and how time only happens when we go away.
When you don't witness
when we
it.
don't witness it. Like the what are they? The bleeding angel statue.
Weeping angels.
Weeping angels, yeah.
Yeah.
And so that our very presence has value to this place. Because
Okay.
the party wants to keep going.
I buy it. All right. And Dora?
Dora's aiding with diplomacy.
Yeah, 100%. Grip?
I had an idea cooking, but I think it would turn into a bluff check, and he's probably not he's definitely not good at that. I was trying to find some way to like try to convince him that this is just my dream body, and I'm really a scrawny sailor, and this is just how I am where I dream, and it's all going to go away when I wake up from this dream, but just to have a memento of all the places we visit, how exciting that would be to my sailor's mind, of all our for us to find a treasure from every port of call or something like that.
That's really fun. Do you think he gives voice to that idea?
Yes, I think he would. Can he use profession sailor instead of bluff though? Because I actually have ranks.
Yes. All right, I buy that. And what about Dabs?
Let's see if I can make an argument for using a stealth or survival check to keep their pulse in check, so they don't completely flub a
So they stop
charisma
sweating?
check.
Survival. All right. Oh, what about this? So you're the one most studiously trying to make as little eye contact as possible. You've got your eyes on the puddles and heaps of bile on the ground.
Trying not to look at them, and
But
of course,
also
looking at
like
them.
making sure like every time Vic steps forward to parade like a bird and speak, you give him just a little bit of a nudge
An
so he avoids
adjustment.
an adjustment so he avoids a particular pool that might cause him to trip.
Nice, nice.
Okay. Let's start with the aid checks. Dora.
22.
Success. Gripper. Gripper of the Wastelands.
20.
Excellent. Success. Dabs.
Oh, good. 30.
Fantastic. All right, so +6, Downey. And I think I'm sold on the planes. That's fine.
Okay, I mean,
Especially that's where I ended and asked for a check. So okay, I buy it.
boop. That is a 35.
DC 31. Success. So obviously there was a little moment of, this was clearly an over the line ask, but he does find your justification whimsical. He finds Dora charming. He loves the idea of a humble dreamer thinking of one of his little possessions as a treasure, a gift from a special dream, and he's really not interested in this guy.
Exactly what I want.
Disappears into the woodwork.
I'm so glad we're doing this one first.
Well, I do suppose that I could arrange, since you're simply going to disappear at the end of the evening after all. Well, I could have my valet bring one of my signet rings down, and I could share it with you. I must say, though, I need a favor.
We would be delighted.
Most of the dreamers don't know that they have to present themselves to me. I don't get to speak to too many of your kind. Your presence here, as not locals, could be advantageous to me. May I share the pickle in which I find myself stewing?
Hold.
I just broke Katie.
If you had turned and gone "Bleh," right after you said that, I would be dead.
Do you know? It's almost time for the sunset waltz.
We have heard that, yes.
I made a boo-boo.
Oh, no.
Yes, my friend.
Mr. Iniquity.
Just keep going. It's just gonna get worse.
You see, I did not know at the evening's commencement that my beloved would be making an appearance. So I sold my body.
He bites his lower lip.
By that, of course, I mean I offered a dance, specifically the Sunset Waltz, to Lady Odrendra Splinterbone. And then I got a little sleepy and I offered the Sunset Waltz to Ardventil Legreet.
You double booked.
And then I found myself so charmed by her, I offered the Sunset Waltz to Modette. Now, it would be simply more than my reputation could handle for them to put up a fuss. When told they will not be the focus of the Sunset Waltz, if you could find it upon yourself to discreetly, diplomatically, obtain polite acknowledgement of the declined dance from these three individuals, You could perhaps earn an evening's time with my ring.
We would be delighted to assist you in this way.
My dear friends.
It's also that you look at Paul every time you do it.
Because he refuses to look at me.
Yeah.
Just like a ring has no beginning and no end, we will make our way right through the center of this for you.
Oh, I like that metaphor. Thank you.
And then, from the last gob of whatever the fuck this is, that he just hawked up into his right hand, and he's kind of draping it over the side of his throne to drop it. You see the soldier running up to fetch it. A spider web shoots down, grabs the guard, and the guard goes flying in the air, and the handkerchief splats on the floor with a noisy, wet splat. You can all see the guard who's supposed to be supplying the fresh handkerchief on the other side. It's just like instant zoom in. Beads of like sweat just running down his face. Oh, holy fuck. The soiled handkerchief is about to be in the Viscount's view.
Dora sends a message to Dabs. Grab it.
Any kind of check I can make to grab the handkerchief?
You could certainly use
Tackle it.
certainly use stealth to move over there in a non-aggressive and
Stealth.
noticeable. So you're already kind of hanging in the back, avoiding eye contact. Slip around the side. Give me a check.
Oh, God. Just say it, whatever it is.
18.
Give me a reflex save.
Nine.
So Dabs is trying to slip gracefully and unnoticed behind the group of you. Right behind you, Grip, you hear and sense Dabwick slipping in the sludge and reaching out, like sort of clawing at your clothes. Give me a grapple check. See if you can gracefully, elegantly, and with precision keep that poor druid on his feet.
Fuck you, natural 20.
Oh!
For a 22.
That is an automatic success.
For a 32. rather.
32 with grace and a plum. You keep Dabwick on their feet. Vic, you're seeing that this is going down, and Dabwick is going to be nowhere near that handkerchief by the time the Count's head turns. So you can pull off a sleight of hand check.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
Give it a shot.
You got anything to throw into this door to provide a distraction that is not going to call attention to what's happening?
I just smile at him
That feels like
admiringly.
a massive diplomacy check.
Sure, give me a check. Let's see if you can aid this.
Go, Sam.
27.
Nice. Nice. Great.
Take it.
Take it.
Oh, man. Okay, that's a 27, and I'm going to blow a point of inspiration. To add... that's a 30.
I rolled a 15 on the die. His perception bonus is 14. You beat it by 1. Nice. So the bird hops forward as part of the display of weirdness that he's been engaging in the whole time, scoops up that foul handkerchief. I think you gotta tuck it into the extra dimensional space. There's like nowhere for it to go to make it disappear. So it's like, whoop, in the hand haversack, gone, and then unnoticed. And already by that time, he's got the other handkerchief in his hand.
Very well then. Let me know when it's done. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye,
Thank
friend.
you.
Dear friend.
Dear friend.
All right, we know who these women are.
So, the names he said were Lady Erdrendra Splinterbone, Ardvin Telgriet, and Maudette.
Just Modette, like
Just
Madonna.
Yes.
Or Cher.
All right, I sense some more detect thoughts in our future.
What was the first name again?
Splinterbone.
Lady Splinterbone.
Lady Splinterbone.
So Dora will, as they walk away, Dora will ask one of the cats in Sylvan after these women if they know who they are. The can identify them?
Oh, it is very hard for me to remember the
Oh,
names
right,
of
right,
everyone.
That's right.
But I'm sure if you ask about,
Well, then I will.
the other dreamers will
Some
surely
checks.
direct you towards the individual that holds your interest.
The cat cocks its head, stares at a beetle, runs after it.
Oh, not Dabs.
Not Dabs' beetle.
Well, that beetle's gone. My duration has ended.
Bye.
Bye, bye, bye,
My
bye.
watch is ended.
And now I'm dead.
All right, you want to start asking around
Yeah.
the dance
Yeah,
for
so
after
some
these people?
gathering information.
Yes,
checks.
absolutely. So this will take about another hour or so to narrow in on who these people are. Let's use diplomacy. This
35.
Oh, okay, yes. You are able to locate and identify Lady Erdrendra Splinterbone. You find her over on the east side of the hall, about halfway up. I've got art for her. Breathtakingly, stunningly beautiful human-looking woman with dark hair, red lips, this elegant and kind of playfully goth red and black dress.
Clearly a vampire.
Yes. As you identify her and watch her dancing with people, she has elongated canines. Her skin is glowing over the course of the time that you're watching her from paler to slightly more flushed. She has these yellowy canine eyes, and she is feeding upon the people with whom she is dancing, and then sort of casually dropping the bodies off onto the by the side walls there.
Great.
And then, at some point, a spider web will shoot down and grab the easy-to-grab corpse.
Are people doing like with everything else, actively avoiding noticing that, or is she being sly?
She seems to be being sly.
Okay.
Though, once she drops the body, that's when the active, no, I don't see that, comes in. You watch her over the course of a span of time. She will finagle herself a dance with, in most cases, men, but you do see her dance with one woman, and then they seem to be excited to engage in this dance, and then the dance gets a little weirdly sexual, and then they lose all strength and they get dumped over on the side. You're able to locate Ardvin Telgriet. There's art for you. He is kind of a stunning, fit, early 40s, olive-skinned, dark-haired, dark-bearded man in what looks kind of like
Necromancer garb.
it's like a necromancer in a suit and a black cloak with a very fancy, what looks like bronze skull amulet. He's in a cluster of men, all men. They are all talking loudly and vigorously to each other, and he seems to be the only one having fun. He stands out like an American at a European restaurant. He seems a little loud, a little annoying, and not quite reading the room around him. And then what you pick up about Maudette is you do find a couple of people who recognize her. Oh, she's the bird caller, isn't she? Oh, everyone is so charmed by her. I saw her talking to Rosalind Halverson. Oh, I saw her talking to Temperance, Constance Cogsmith, Mortimer Lovegrave, nay, Habsburgenberg. I saw her talking to Nemo.
Nemo.
Yeah.
Very silly party.
In the end, you do talk to someone who, when you bring this up, very pointedly does not give you their name and simply casts their eye to the curtain wall behind which you know this ladder that goes up to the catwalks rises.
Great.
So Maudette's an
great.
Ettercap.
Yeah. Awesome. Who should we tackle first?
Oh, let's talk to the vampire.
All right, I'm gonna do a third level detect thoughts as we approach.
So Dora is making her way carefully through the crowd, avoiding cats, avoiding partygoers, staring in this intense, focused manner at the vampire as the vampire seems to be flitting about now, looking for another dancing partner.
I'm looking like slightly to the left of the vampire.
Can I make a religion check on vampires?
Sure.
25.
Yeah, the first thing you remember as Dora is beginning this process is, as an undead creature, she is immune to mind-affecting effects. So Dora picks up absolutely nothing.
What about from those around her?
At the moment, she's just flitting and chatting. People find her quite charming. They think of her as so lively, so full of life. Oh, such strange teeth. She does not seem to be
Full of
unnerving the people around her. And then as far as vampires go, I think you can bring in your meta knowledge. All the typical things. No garlic. They recoil from mirrors and strongly presented holy symbols. She has to have been invited in.
Mirrors?
And then, of course, blood drain, turning into bats and wolves, creating spawn, crush a humanoid's will by looking into their eyes, energy drain, gaseous form. They cast no shadows. They can climb on the walls like spider. All the stuff. And they resist cold and electricity damage. And they have DR magic and silver.
Okay.
I give you more than you need because I think vampires are and this just seems to, unlike the weird vampires that you encountered in Thrushmoor, this just seems like classic D&D vampire.
What should our tactic be here, do you think?
Let her off easy. I mean, we don't want her to make a scene, right? I mean, we want to make sure that our pal doesn't have the party ruined.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we going to make up a lie?
No.
Or just say, he's not going to dance with you. Please don't kill me.
Surely she can understand that
Good plan.
now that his beloved is here.
Another dance, but not tonight.
You're gonna make a promise on the Viscount's behalf.
Oh,
I think you would know that'd be sketchy territory.
all right. Then all we've been authorized to do is say, can't dance tonight.
And to do it in a way that she doesn't make a scene about it. Yeah.
I don't know, make it sound like he's very sorry and... I don't know. I'm not good at breaking up with people.
Neither am I. Do you know if we should all be there? Or maybe one or two of us?
I want nothing to do with this.
If we're going to go the diplomatic route, honesty, then the Baron and I can handle it, but I don't want you too far away.
I feel like I should keep up appearances and just stand behind you, whatever you're doing.
But perhaps...
Stand as far back as possible.
I mean, no offense.
None taken.
If we're making it sound like we're her advisors, it would make perfect sense for us both to flank her, perhaps.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sort of an imposing human in druid robes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a mirror, don't you?
You're so
I do.
uncomfortable,
Indeed
Paul.
have a
I
mirror.
love this.
I'm so intimidating, aren't I?
You gonna make your approach?
Yep.
Shall we just go and talk to this vampire? Why
Tony,
not?
I'm happy to take lead if you. All right.
Whatever. We
So
can do this
what's
together.
as we walk up to her, is she in the middle of a dance? Is she talking to someone?
No. She's sort of chatting with people, and I think at a certain point, because she's a vampire and her perception's through the roof, she would be aware
Clock us.
of your approach and eye you all studiously with a kind of a wry smile on her face. And then she kind of waves herself off from the conversation that she's having with these other folks and turns around and presents. Like she's in the middle of 1,000 people all around you, and like all of the folks in the area around her just seem to instinctively, with their animal senses, feel like something unnatural wants space. So there's just a little bit of room manifesting in all of the bodies around her as she stands under like a figurative spotlight, staring at you with these just breathtaking features, these piercing, unnerving eyes, and a body that is radiating attraction in a weird animal kind of way. Like you feel like even you're aware of what she is, you're aware it's part of what's happening with her and mortals, and you just still feel it. You feel drawn to this woman.
Lady Splinterbone.
Why, yes.
You may call me Baron Zolotov.
Baron Zolotov, it is a pleasure to meet you. And she bows deeply and extends a hand.
And I take that hand and I bow even deeper and plant like a wet kiss right on the back of her hand.
She loves it. She swan dive bows all the way down to the ground and then elegantly and seamlessly stands back up to her feet. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Oh, the pleasure is all mine.
Let's
lady.
discuss pleasure, shall we?
Oh, I think we should. I have to tell you.
Yes.
Even though it's probably going to cost me my life, I gotta have a dance with you.
I must admit, I'm intrigued.
Well, I mean, do we get the dance first?
Do you know what you're offering?
Well, like I said, it's probably going to cost me my life, but, you know, when you're the bearer of bad news, it ends up being the thing anyway, so...
Bad news?
That's why I'd rather wait till after the dance, so at least I know I get to dance with such a absolutely breathtaking creature such as yourself.
Enter my embrace.
Oh. Ciao, guys. I got a date.
Don't you want to hear the bad news first?
She'll hear the bad news in a second.
Will you still be alive in a second?
They dance, and she is the perfect partner. This is a dance Vic has never danced before, but he appears to, by all accounts from the outside, by the way she knows how to lead him. And there's like little flavor wisps of domination coming in, like she is sort of projecting onto your brain exactly how to move, exactly how to touch her, exactly how to hold her, exactly when to lead, exactly when to follow. And this elegant dance transpires for several minutes, and she whispers in your ear at about what feels like the halfway point, "Thank you." And she does feed. 4 points of constitution damage.
Oh, that's rough.
And in experiencing it this way in her embrace, like touched by the edges of her formidable will, there's nothing painful about it. It is just this incredible sensation of letting go, of release, of embracing destiny and beauty and passion, which I think is also got to be wrapped up in the fact that he thinks he's still dreaming this. He's in the dream inside the dream, dreaming that he's dreaming about getting bitten by a vampire, and it actually feels okay. It feels kind of great.
Not bad. So I think in the midst of this, like as she's feeding,
He's like, oh, this is so good.
I know.
I gotta tell you.
Yes.
and this is literally like the moment where we're like dancing and stuff, and she goes in and she's telling me that I should be like dipping her down, and as I'm like dipping her down kind of thing, I'm like,
So this seems like probably a good time, so, the Viscount's not gonna be able to dance with you tonight.
She immediately stands to her feet and stares with fury at Vic, and you can all see this happen.
We know it's a tremendous disappointment.
Like I said, I knew it was probably gonna cost me my life, but it was worth it for that dance.
Why?
Circumstances have changed.
Who are you to the Viscount that you bring me this information?
We are friends.
and at this moment, Vic like pops the really awful crested handkerchief out from in his cuff. He's like,
We're his very, very good friends.
and he just sort of brushes it near his chin, kind of thing, like the little bit of clean part, kind of thing.
There's no clean
I know.
part. You're smearing tar on your face,
Fine, then I'm
buddy.
smearing tar on my face.
It's probably the formless spawn.
But
Great.
but
We're all
but
dead.
literally
Everybody at this
the
party
idea
is
that
dead.
no one else at this party
Would
has
have
one
that.
of these things.
Yeah. I see. And what am I supposed to do about this insult?
Well, you're at a party, so have a good time, dance,
Might I suggest
feast.
you
drink.
save it for another time when it can be profitable to you?
She slowly cocks her head towards Grip. It could be profitable to me right now.
I don't pick up on social cues very well. What is it you're trying to say?
Dance with me. And maybe this slight, this offense, this impugning of my honor and reputation will just disappear.
You gotta try it. She's an amazing dancer, I tell you.
Are you wearing
So
a
good.
belt?
I mean, I've got constitution to spare. For the moment. Well, they say I've got 2 left feet.
I can help with that. She extends a hand.
All right. Didn't come here to not fucking dance with vampires, I suppose.
Give me a diplomacy check, Johnny, for Vic, Katie, as well to aid.
27.
That is a 26, and I'm going to spend a point of inspiration. That is 4 on the die for a 30.
She takes Grip's hand, and you all watch as Grip dances an amazingly, astoundingly elegant dance. And of course, Grip is actually very skilled with the use of his body, so he picks up on these cues, even though he may have never danced in this kind of dance before.
Not
It's
this
like,
sort of dance, no.
and only 1 point of constitution damage from the bite to you, 1d4.
While this is going on, Dora's going to very quietly cast Mage Armor.
All right, and at the end of this dance, Grip walks away feeling a little weaker, a little woozier, a little like he's touched something special. But she gives you all a very graceful bow. And
Vic bows right back, going all the way down to the floor as far as he can, kind of thing.
and slinks off into the crowd. 1 dance down. Who's next?
I think we gotta go
We gotta-
upstairs last.
Yeah.
So let's
So
talk.
it's the
Let's
guy.
talk to the guy with the skull necklace.
But do another detect thoughts as we approach him.
Yes, and I think you would notice in this gaggle of wealthy men, your attention would be drawn to not just him, but also sort of 3 of his buddies that also seem to be the center of their own little clusters of sycophants.
Do they all have matching amulets?
They don't have matching amulets, but they all seem... Oh, here, I've got pictures. Charlemagne, Bala. Yes.
Smoke show.
Handsome, fit, pointed, sort of oiled mustache and this elegant black and orange suit. Kioso Radovig, straight out of a romance novel. Ah, good-looking fella. They're all in black. That seems to be the theme here. And then Rastislav Imperiori. He's got a little flare of red in the form of a cravat. These 3 guys seem maybe 10 years younger than Ardvin, but all incredibly wealthy, incredibly fit, incredibly put together,
Buttoned up.
very buttoned up.
Well, if I can get them all in a cone,
Easily done.
see
Easily done.
what's up with that.
Yep.
This is a 3rd level detect thoughts.
Great. What's the DC on that?
19.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So I got a natural 20 for Ardvin, but all the other 3 dudes
Okay, so
fail.
maybe that will help.
Yeah. So I think you would pick up an absolute exhaustion and frustration on all 3 of their parts with Ardvin. They don't like him. They don't care for him. They would love to see him brought low. When, like, as you're watching
Okay.
from 60 feet away, when you see them like laughing at a joke, they're just like thinking, that's this fucking guy.
So we can, conferring with everyone via message quietly, I think we can use his friends. They are looking to see him humiliated, so perhaps they will take care of any consequences of the news for us.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, let's bring this guy down. Fantastic.
We should take the lead again.
Absolutely.
Like anything I can glean from them, I will feed
Sure,
to
let's
Vic
see how
via
the conversation
message.
goes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Vic, you move in, and the other 2 you're hanging back as bodyguards.
Yeah.
Hanging back.
Can I help you?
Yes, my lord Ardvin Telgriat, yes.
I'm not a lord. You don't have to put any fancy title on me. Although I
yeah.
appreciate it, buddy.
Well, you just dress so well.
I really do. This is
really
what
do.
my money buys.
Like the
I
guy
know,
from The Mummy
I know
with
how
who
it
got his
buys.
eyes taken by the mummy, the American.
Who the hell are you?
And I pop out the handkerchief and just kind of dab my face.
He
with
stares you in the eyes, never breaks eye contact. He doesn't look at it.
it. I sort of flourish it past up into, and then
he's just expert.
he's so good. I go, well, as a friend of a friend, I had to bring you some news.
I like news.
Yeah, I know you're gonna like this a lot.
Why don't you tell it to my boys? I got shit to do, man.
I know you.
Good to meet you.
Oh, our friend asked me to make sure that I let you know about this specifically, and I just sort of turn my gaze back towards Brelin.
Sure.
I go,
He 100% gets it.
So, do you want the message or not?
He kind of, yeah, that's a fucking guy with his guys, and he makes his way closer to you to lean into your ear. And Dora, like, you can just see the other 3 guys leaning in, like, what is going on?
Okay, I'm going
here?
to send a message to one of them. Wait for it.
Charlemagne turns his head, looks around. Do you try to make eye contact, or
No.
you, okay, guys, you're staying anonymous. All right.
I lean and I go,
Yeah. Here's the deal, you scumbag. He said there's no dance for you tonight, and if you make a scene, we're gonna tell these guys exactly why you got snubbed, and they're gonna love taking you down.
Do you know who you're talking to? Fucknut.
Oh boy, I've never been called a fucknut before. That's fantastic. Man, this is the best. I should come to this party all the time.
I own the Fligit manufactory.
Oh well, who doesn't love a good fligit?
You're using one right now, asshole.
Oh, I love assholes and fligits.
I can make his life very difficult.
And I can make your life real difficult right now. Now, do you want to pretend that you got good news? Or do you want me to make a big scene in front of your friends where you look like a jackass? You tell me.
You think I care what they think? You know what matters to me.
Oh, no, I don't. Tell me.
How do I profit? I came here for one reason: profit. You find me an alternative form of compensation, I can let this go.
How much we looking at?
How much you got? I think after, we've been here a few hours now. I don't know, a local check. You've been hearing people talking about money.
Okay.
I think you can use your skill at paying attention to that to see if you can gauge a sense of what he's looking for here.
All right.
What this shitheel wants.
It's fuck nut.
It's fuck nut.
16.
You would guess someone his apparent level of wealth, like a bribe in the range of like 10,000 gold pieces or more value, would be something that would not be considered insulting and not a waste of his night. The three dudes, Katie, like they're thinking literally nothing. They're just like breathless in body and mind. Like, what the fuck is this? Because they also saw the handkerchief, though didn't give away that they saw it.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Dream world.
Yep.
When we go into the dream world, if we drop something that's a real thing in the dream world, what happens to it?
We won't have it the next time we come back to the dreaming.
No, you always come into the dreaming with what you had when you went to sleep. So if you were to give him, let's say...
Vanity?
If you were to give him vanity, then you would wake up and you'd have vanity, and then when you come here tomorrow, you'd have vanity.
Oh, okay. Give him the farm. Fuck it.
No problem. Here you go. This is a one of a kind.
It's breathtaking, man.
I made it.
You made this?
Yeah.
Walk me through it.
No, that's gonna cost you extra. You want the deal or not?
I've never seen one like that.
No, you haven't.
And you would be clocking, he knows exactly what it is. Well, I gotta take it. I would be a fool not to take it.
Well, you're no fool.
No, I'm not. He reaches a hand out.
I hand it to him, like, handle first.
Yep.
Not loaded.
Yes. Bang!
We have an accord?
I don't think there's going to be anything I'm worried about for the rest of this night.
We'll have a great time, you shithole.
Go fuck yourself. Tucks into his belt, goes back to his party, and of course the dudes are so distressed because he comes back beaming, like flaunting this adamantine pistol at his hip, and they're all like, "Oh, he always wins!" They're so pissed.
And I'm just kind of dancing because this is all a dream.
All
Two
right.
down, one to go.
Maudit.
We heading up the ladder.
Good God.
I guess we gotta.
This is the worst.
So we make our way over to the ladder, and we'll pick up next time with some buffing and preparations. That's the end of chapter 104. Woohoo. Dark Nexus is produced by Plug and Hum Productions. This podcast uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Incorporated, used under Paizo's fan content policy. This podcast is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, please visit paizo.com. That's Paizo.com. Dark Nexus uses music and soundscapes by Syrinscape. Check them out at Syrinscape.com. That's Syrinscape.com. Opening and closing themes, along with additional music composed by Rob Kauzlaric. Artwork for Dark Nexus is by Matt Wahlquist. And thanks to DMCP, Richard and Ari, Paul and Shannon, Scotty, Jason, Jess, Joe, Chelsea, Matt, Dave, Derek, Darren, Michaela, J.H., the Biscuit Buddies, and everyone we've gamed with over the years for all the memories and inspiration.
Click the tab. Click the skills. Can you find skills?
Stop. Oh my God. Did you? Yes. Did you find that? Click the skills. Find the skills. Find the skills.
Are you looking on your sheet?
Are you even in
Have you
Roll20,
tried
bro?
turning it off and turning it on again?
Oh, I didn't mean to click tell me more. God damn it.